Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is George Kingori, your online finance guy who speaks about all things finance, how you can be able to save, invest and grow in your finances. I hope that you are learning, you are growing and you're becoming better in your finances. And today I'm going to speak about an emotive topic to those who are parents or prospective parents, and that is, don't replace love and attention with expensive gifts. Many are guilty of this, and I too have sometimes been guilty of this. You go on a long road trip or a work trip and you are unable to be with your children and with your family, and you compensate this love and attention, especially to your children, with buying them expensive gifts. Your house is filled with gifts and toys and dolls, and you do not even have enough space to keep these dolls. So why should you not do this? Of course, the first thing is, kids do not actually need all these gifts. They just need your time. And I mean, spend quality time with them. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. I'm not saying quantity time, but quality time. Be there, be present, speak to them, talk to them, listen to them. Give them the affection and the attention that they need. You don't even have to do it for hours on end, but while you are there, let them know daddy and mommy are around. Give them the attention. That is what they mostly need, not your expensive gifts and you being constantly absent, even when you're present, constantly on your phone and unavailable emotionally and when they need to speak to you. It has been seen that parents who do not speak to their children at an early age have their children grow much slower in terms of conversation and language, and actually know 40% less words than the children whose parents talk to them more often, because children learn not by seeing but by experiencing and by interacting. And that is why people emphasize the art of learning for children between the age of 2 to 5 to be less of screen time and more of one-on-one interaction. And that is why children who are always constantly with their house helps and the people who help with house chores may not learn as much language and correct language, because the people who take care of them may be limited in these skills. And that is why you are, as a parent, your time is what is most important. Please do not replace that time and affection with gifts that are actually draining you financially. The other thing is, you only have a very short time with these children. Actually, children grow much faster than you think. By the time they need you, by the time you realize that you need to be present for your children, they may actually not be interested in having you around. By the age of 0 to 2 is when they are constantly 100% dependent on you. By the time they are between 2 to 5 is when they need your attention and you to look as they learn how to do certain things. As they interact, you are present with them in conversation and in speech between 2 to 5. And actually, by the time they're hitting their teens, they do not even want to interact with you. In fact, they might even be ashamed of hanging out with daddy and mommy. You have very limited time with these children, and the biggest gift you can give your children is the time, because time is the most expensive thing. We have limited time, but we can always make unlimited money and resources, that we can always give unlimited gifts, but we cannot compensate for the time that we have actually lacked. Actually, 100% of the people who reach their hundreds, their biggest regrets are actually associated with time, and it is mostly time that they did not spend with your families. So the children actually move on faster than you think, and the shortness of time makes it more important to spend time with them and not spend all your money buying gifts. Then the other thing is, love is freely given. Yes, love is freely given. Love is freely expressed. In fact, love is free. Whoever tells you that you need to buy love by giving them these gifts is actually lying to you. They're just selling a product. but the actual fact is love is actually free. And actually, the love that you have to pay to be able to get is not actually love, it's just attention or affection. And actually, the people you have to give things to so that they show love to you do not actually need, and they are not actually your friends, they are not actually people who matter in your life. But the people who matter in your life, they give you love freely. A parent loves their child freely. A child loves their parent freely. It is free, and you don't have to commoditize it, and you do not have to put money value and gifts to it to be able to have it and express it freely. So love is free. Why are you bringing all these expensive gifts? The other thing is, it may be a setup for future disappointment. Yes, when you create a big perception that every time children are entitled to gifts, in fact the word is entitled, you do not want to raise entitled adults who think that the world owes them a gift, that the world owes them things, that the world is going around their world and everything actually revolves around them. You do not want entitled children. So for the sake of not growing and having entitled children who cannot even pick a spoon after themselves and who are constantly irresponsible, and the kind who you will take care of even when you go into retirement because they are particularly careless, avoid giving gifts with no particular reason, because you create a certain perception that is not what the world actually has. The world does not give us things freely, and we actually have to work hard and you have to do the effort, and no one owes you any debt that they need to repay you. The government doesn't owe you anything. The people around you do not owe you anything, and actually everyone is actually trying to survive or thrive at whatever level in their lives, and they do not actually care about you. So stop creating entitled children simply by setting up an expectation that the future cannot hold for these children in adult age. Then of course, when you do this, you forgo certain life lessons, especially on saving, on investing. Show children that whatever they have, if they ask for a gift, show them that it actually costs money. And for it to cost money, mommy and daddy have to work hard for it. When you give them money and when you give them gifts, you forsake the actual lesson that actually you have to put in the time and effort to be able to acquire these things. So ensure that you do not forgo this important lesson that children need to learn, and the earlier they learn, the better. So ensure that these lessons on saving, on investing, on putting aside and planning for their purchases. Actually, you should set up a way in such a way that if they want a particular gift or they want to do something in particular, show them how they can be able to earn and how mommy has to work a little bit harder to be able to acquire these gifts. So ensure that the lessons are never forsaken. The other thing is, you could show them love by securing their future. Yes, by not giving them these gifts and taking the money that could be taken away in expensive gifts into giving them and securing their future, into having investments that are cash flow generating, that could be able to help you take care of their needs in the future. Actually, where is it written that your children should inherit you when you die? You can actually set up their lives to be able to give them the gift of a house, maybe by the time they're starting their first job. So you do not have to give them many gifts, the many unnecessary gifts. You could give them a gift that could be able to set them up in their lives. Just ask yourself, what if your parents gave you a gift of a house when you were starting your life? Where would you be now? What if they gave you the gift of a piece of land? What if they started investing you and giving you something that you can be able to start up with? Would your life not be a lot better? Would you find it a lot easier to actually build wealth and grow your finances? So think about gifts that can be able to help them in their future, as opposed to gifts that may actually startle them. As parents, I wish that we raise our children to be responsible young men and women who will be able to be financially capable of taking care of their finances. I hope that you are learning, you are growing, and you're becoming better in your finances. Remember to subscribe to the channel, to like this video, and to leave a comment down below, because your feedback is extremely important. Thank you and enjoy your